Hi guys, this is me, Rusty, 78609 Central Texas, and I am out on a drive today, and I'm fixing to go down one of my favorite little drives. It's a shortcut over to Fredericksburg, Texas, and I'm going to go there too, but I'm going to pan around here. This is the, if you can see that clearly, this is called the Smith West Ranch Road. There's a Smith Ranch, pan around here, Cooper Ranch, and the West Ranch. And the name of this road that I'm on is called the Smith West Ranch Road. And we're fixing to go down in here in just a second. I'm going to pause this thing. Just a second. Okay, onward and upward. And I'll do a little video here. This is a cattle guard in front of me. A lot of people don't know what a cattle guard is. But it's just some metal poles laid in the road so that the cattle won't walk across it, but you can drive across it without having to open a gate. That sign there says loose livestock, and they mean it. There are no fences. Well, there's fences here, but this ranch on the left is all open, and again, they've had a little, that noise you hear, that rattling thing, that clicking, that's the holder doing that, and I can't figure out how to stop it. I mean, I heard it in my video, but again, I'm just driving around here. And this is a big ranch here, I promise you. It's big for Central Texas, but out in West Texas, you could put 10 of these in it. West Texas ranches are huge. And but this road is rarely used. It is a county road, county maintained. It used to be a gravel road. I used to come down it when it was a gravel road years ago. And there's a lot of wildlife out here. We probably won't see any today because it's too hot. Most of the animals are in the shade now. And cattle, probably, whatever the cattle are doing, you can rest assured that's what the rest of the animals are doing. If you see the cattle in the shade laying down, you can bet yourself that the coyotes and the deer are doing the same thing. But anyway, I haven't got a whole lot to say about this ranch, other than this is just old oil money. The West Ranch is named after a family out of George West, Texas. Actually, the name of the town George West is a man's name, obviously. And there's a big oil field down there in that area. It's about 40 miles from where I grew up in Kennedy, Texas. And that's old oil. They've got oil fields out there that have been producing for 50 years. And that's a lot of money, folks. A lot of money. And that's how they were able to come up here and buy this Texas Hill Country, and they did. And they really did. But it's a scenic ranch. They couldn't have picked a better spot. It just goes right through the heart of the Texas Hill Country. And trying to stop that clicking noise, but I can't figure out how to do it. I've tried to put some tape on it. Anyway, so we'll just pretend that's my music. I added music. That clicking noise is my new music. So, but this is a beautiful ranch, and that fence on the right, if you can see it barely, yeah, you probably can. That's a game fence. That's to keep the deer in, because they have deer hunts out here, and boy, they charge the crap out of you too. Some of these deer leases out here will cost you, I don't know, it depends on how many acres, but anywhere from 25 to 100,000, depending on how much money you got to spend. Here's a little low water crossing. I was wondering about this too, because I knew we had a lot of rain. That old sign got washed down in the flood. But I have been out here when it was so dry that the grass was just brown, burnt brown. That was 2 years ago. I mean, poor old cattle were just starving to death because some of these ranchers don't feed them. So they can't make any money feeding them. But anyway, I don't have a lot to say. We'll run this video for about 10 minutes, and then I'll shut it off and I'll start another one. Because if I run them too long, it takes forever to upload. And also, whenever you watch these videos of me driving around like this, the original version will be a little shaky. But if you watch it the next day, I go to YouTube and do an edit that takes the shakiness out, and they do a good job. Here's another cattle guard. And but anyway, I grew up in an area that looked just like this. A lot of old mesquite trees and oaks. Hot in the summer. Right now it's 84 degrees, a little humid. Time's about a little after 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. And got a lot of prickly pear cactus, a lot of mesquite trees, a few live oak, and then there's another oak they call blackjack. And some other trees, I don't even know the names of. Hell, when I grew up in the country in South Texas, a tree was just a tree, you know. A dog was a dog. Nobody cared what kind of pedigree it was. There's a road there called Glenn Smith. Now, they got a lot of money in here. And you know, I don't know how, they're not here often. They've got cowboys out there. In fact, the house, you can't see them, but there's some houses on the right that the cowboys live in. And I've talked to them a few times, and they're just what you'd think. They're just well, it looks like they got the gate closed. No, they don't. But you know, the old cowboys out here about just what you'd think about the old original cowboys. They're old lone wolves, skinny as a rail, and they love being out here in this country. They do. They don't like to go to town. They drink a little beer and whiskey, though. And but see, you haven't seen a car yet, have you? Probably won't see any. Might see one or two. But if you stopped here for if I stopped here for a long time, you'd be surprised. There'd probably be somebody come check me out. I mean, how they're watching me, who knows? But they've got an airport up here on the right, on the West Ranch, that you could land the largest Learjets you can buy on, and they've got them. These people used to be friends with LBJ. Johnson City is only about 25 miles from where we are right now. Johnson City is where Lyndon Baines Johnson grew up. And he used to have what they call the Texas White House right there on the Pedernales River on his ranch. And I've been over there a few times. It's a national park now. Well, LBJ was connected. He was one of the boys. Him and Senator John Tower, a 5'2" alligator. And they were backed by big oil money. And that's how LBJ became president. How he was he involved in the assassination of John Kennedy? Well, there's a 50-cent question. That's a 50-cent question. They were rough. They were rough old boys, I promise you. A lot of problems buried out on some of these old ranches. I guarantee you. There used to be a ranch in South Texas. It's still there. It's called, the name of the county is Duval County. And I can't remember the guy's name that owned the ranch down there. I may think of it. But he was called the Duke of Duval County, and he was good friends with LBJ. In fact, he was one of the ones that got LBJ elected Texas senator, and subsequently a senator at the national level. And he was also very instrumental in getting LBJ appointed or selected as vice president under John F. Kennedy. And this right up here, I'm going to pull into this little pullout. You know, the reason they have these big pullouts like that, because sometimes they're pulling big old cattle trailers, and they got to have plenty of room to get off the road. And but anyway, I'll kind of let you pan around here. How long are we going? Okay, we're about 9.5 minutes. We won't go too long. But this is really a scenic little overlook here. And all this rock around here is limestone, very soft, and sometimes you can pull over and look in some of these drainage ditches and little creeks, and you find all kind of fossils, fossilized seashells, fossilized all kind of stuff. And I've done that with my youngest, well, with both my boys and my grandson. Not my grandson, he never has been up here. Not here. But anyway, this is the West Ranch Road in Central Texas, USA, and it's Wednesday morning. And y'all are getting to see something. This is what you would call the backroads of Texas. This is the real part of Texas. This is the Texas that you don't get to see on a tour. And the reason is nobody really knows that this road can be used by just normal traffic. Most of them make the assumption that it is owned by the rancher, but it's not. This road is county maintained, and so you can travel on it anytime. But you better not be hunting from your car. Poaching is what they call it. Okay, now we're coming to the West Ranch. And this is the big money honey here. Smith's rich. And they may be related for all I know. But the West Ranch headquarters is to my left. Up here, I'll swing around here. This is the entrance to the main house right there. And believe me, men, ladies, that is big money. I would say they're in the billion dollar category, and more coming in every day. You know, even if oil was, even at $20 a barrel, these people are making money. Okay? Trust me. Okay, I'm going to cut this video off in just a minute. I'm going to go down here and let you see the airport because we're coming up on it. It's not like a big old controlled airport. It's just a runway. And I'll see if I can let you see. It's off to the right. Let me see if I can turn this thing where you can see it. And I can't. It won't turn? No, it won't turn. I know what I'll do. Maybe I can do this. But the airport is off to the right. Well, it's just it ain't much to see anyway. I'll just tell you about it. It's just a black runway. But again, it's a long runway. And do they land their little Lears here? You bet they do. You bet. This is old Texas money. And it's still got power today in politics, particularly in Texas. You don't get to be governor of Texas without these people shaking the holy water on you. And that is a fact. But having said all that, I'm going to stop this video and I'll start another one here in a little bit. Adios amigos, thumbs up on this video, carpe diem, and bye-bye.